Cisco Lobos versus the Wall Hawks. Both started out with week 1 wins and doing what they did best, running the football. The Hawks gained 404 yards on the ground, highlighted by Chase Rios, 164 yards and 4 touchdowns on just 5 carries. The Lobos picked up 414 yards, most coming from quarterback Hunter Long, who had 316 yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns. This matchup has a history of close games. Just last season, the Hawks won 20-13, scoring a go-ahead touchdown in the 4th quarter. Would we see more of the same? Well, let's find out. Wall has won 4 of the past 5 meetings these two teams have played. First quarter, Hawks driving. Drew Morrison loses it, and the Cisco Lobos recover the football, which would set this up. They take advantage of the turnover, and Gerard Fisher breaks through the tackles in the middle. One man to beat, and he will find pay dirt. Cisco jumps out to a 7-0 lead. Let's go to the end of the first. Wall driving. Drew Morrison keeps it. That was a 4th and pretty much they needed it. 4th down, they got it. They scored a touchdown. It was 8-7. So here's Wall down 14-8. In the 2nd quarter, right before the half, Drew Morrison gets inside the 10-yard line, but he wasn't able to score. But the Hawks came out and made adjustments in the 2nd half and would go on to score 4 unanswered touchdowns and go on to get the big win over the Cisco Lobos, 35-14. For more on tonight's game, here's Rachel Turnock.
Thanks, Jaden. Yeah, the Hawks just came storming back in the 2nd half as they didn't want to lose at home against Cisco. And joining me now is Wall head coach Houston Guy. Coach, you guys had 27 unanswered points in the 2nd half, and you just shut down Cisco. Just what was the huge difference between the 1st half and the 2nd half, would you say?
I think the 1st half we left some points on the field with, we dropped this one ball that, we had a turnover, and then a couple of missed assignments. I think we had some drives that stalled out that probably should have been touchdowns if we could go back and redo those. We felt like we left the field with 2 touchdowns, or missing 2 touchdowns. Come in the 2nd half, I knew if we played great defense, like we did the 1st half, we could move the ball on again. We just needed to finish those drives and put those in the end zone. And we, come in at halftime, talk to our offensive linemen. They tell us where they're lined up, what they think we can run inside, what they think we can block, and we come out and just attack them with those plays, and they did a fantastic job.
Do you think Cisco might have had a moment of panic where when you guys just really gained momentum on them, they just didn't know how to respond to that?
I think when we scored our 2nd touchdown, and I felt like the momentum was turning at that point in time. I felt like we were dominating the line of scrimmage, both sides of the ball, and so I felt it was just a matter of time for us to finish it. And it took this, late into the 2nd half for us to do that, but I felt like we did that mainly because of how physical we were inside.
One thing we have talked about for the past couple months, and then even tonight we talked about it, was just the fact that you guys finally got to play on this brand new, fresh-looking turf. You finally got to beat it up a little bit. Just how nice was that?
It's one of those things we've been, they decided last spring to put it in, so we've been anxiously awaiting, and we knew this first game was going to be a big game for us with Cisco, and we thought, we want to play good when we're playing at home on this, especially this opening game on this new turf, and so, what better way to start off with a win against Cisco? It's a tough program. They're very physical, and so, we knew coming in it was going to be a very good ball game, and so we just wanted to make sure we finish it off, give our fans a good performance, and perform like we could.
And you got San Antonio Cornerstone Christian coming in here next week. Not a very familiar opponent, but what do you know about them?
I know they're scary good, and they're very physical. They're very fast. They're going to have some very talented athletes on the field. Probably the most talented team that's probably ever played here as an opponent, and so they'll be fun to watch.
Talented next to you guys, though. Hopefully, we'll see. That game will be next week.
You're right. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much, Coach. We really appreciate it. Hawks get the win tonight against Cisco to open up 2-0 at 2-0 on the season. Jaden, back to you in the studio.